here in the cradle of liberty. We're coming to you from Philadelphia. When you look at Joel Embiid, enormous talent, you've talked about him a lot. How does he compare to some of the great centers? This is a very short sample with him, so yeah. But how does he compare, you think, to some of the great centers you've seen and read about?
Talent-wise, he's up there. Durability-wise, he's also up there in the Yao Ming, Go Walking, kind of category of guys that I'm just not sure they're going to be able to stand.
You gotta hold your breath. Is he too
bright? I don't like some of the decisions he makes. I think he shoots too many threes. The big thing for him is conditioning. And until he takes that seriously, he's just going to have a ceiling on his career. I think if you go back and you look at the tapes of him in Kansas, and he looks like a young Kevin Garnett. I mean, he's 50 pounds lighter.
His body's completely different.
Oh my gosh. And he's just carrying a lot of weight. And I felt like during the Celtics series 2 years ago, I thought he wore down at the end of those games. So he's got to figure that out because that's the thing that's going on.
Here are the starters for Milwaukee. Matthews and Middleton in the two-wing. Antetokounmpo out there with Dwight Powell. That's Bledsoe in at the guard position. And for the 76ers. The tall lineup out there for the 76ers. Simmons, Richardson, Harris, Horford, and Embiid.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Milwaukee with the ball. It's Powell on the wing, guarded by Embiid. Down to 5 on the shot clock, and stolen by Horford. Simmons against Bledsoe. They get a hand on it. Passes it to Giannis. That shot, no good. Now the 76ers take it the other way. Richardson the pass for Embiid. And the top by Embiid.
I like seeing Josh Richardson distribute the ball, especially when his teammates are wide open. That makes for an easy pass.
And so just over a minute and a half played. And Bledsoe, here we go. Rejected by Harris. And he's able to get it back. Milwaukee, no good that time either. And the 76ers with possession. They put up a nice win against Detroit the last time out.
Yeah, it is always a great feeling when you go the extra distance, double OT in this case, and are able to come away with that win.
And you look at combo forwards that can help you provide some spacing out there. Harris right now spotting up and hitting.
Giannis against Horford. It's Giannis with the drive and the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
Flying high and throwing it down with the one-hand.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys. Oh, here's Simmons coming off a stellar performance against Detroit.
That's a tough rebound if you don't have the length that he does, so the size paying off.
Bill, over a quarter of today's NBA players were born in a country other than the United States. The talent was that broad all over the globe.
And Giannis was born on another planet. We don't know what planet
He
was it Earth? I think he just got dropped from some satellite. Yeah, this all starts with...
I love it too, don't you? Don't you? I love the fact you've got players from Latvia and Greece and all.
What's cool about it is they all kind of have distinct identities and quirks, and one of the things that makes somebody like Doncic so much fun to watch is he's not like anybody else. Like, he's close to James Harden, but he's also that step back three that he was taking that he's been making his whole life. Other than Harden, nobody was even really shooting it that way, you know? And I think there's an unselfishness with the European guys that is really useful for the American stuff.
100% agree.
They really, guys move without the ball, give it a go, and it's not just like clear out, I'm up.
Yeah. Here's Bledsoe after Ben Simmons' bucket. And the rejection by Embiid. It's Richardson on the wing. Antetokounmpo defending. Simmons against Bledsoe. Right side Simmons. 6 on the shot clock. Over Bledsoe. Rebounded by the Bucks.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Until we see more and more teams base their offenses around three-point shooting. Threes are at an all-time high. We know that. Should the NBA that in mind, but it has been talking.
I don't like changing. I think it's going to manifest itself if it doesn't work in the playoffs as well. And teams are going to slowly realize like that you need to blend it inside-outside game at least a little bit.
We can't lose what the game is. Yeah, it's big and small, it's inside, it's outside.
And it's not passing and unselfishness. The Warriors take a lot of threes, but they're the most unselfish team we have. And they create a lot of layups and they play, they're really creative. And that just can't be your thing is we shoot 53, here's our offense. The problem is, you're still going to get these games where 2 points really matters. That's what we saw with Kawhi in the playoffs last year. These games slow down, it's going to be a 92 to 89 ending, and your team needs to get 10 baskets in the fourth quarter, no matter how you're going to get them. You still need somebody who can do that too.
Here's Lopez. Philadelphia getting their last shot to go. He kicks it to Korver. Outside Hill. Over Richardson. They get it again. Here's Lopez, and that's out of bounds. Milwaukee will retain possession.
Well, Quinn demonstrating solid timing there, and that's a pretty vicious rejection.
And Milwaukee has possession. It's a 5-point game. Hill kicks to Ilyasova. 5 to shoot. Good. The assist goes to Hill.
And that's Ilyasova's shot. He's a deep ball bomber.
76ers are gone 7-9 from the field. A really nice strike offensively for them. And there's the whistle. Illegal screen.
Beyond the leaning, you could see his feet weren't set on that screen. Easy call.
Gotta hold firm or you're gonna get a call.
There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. And stolen by Richardson. And now the 76ers on the break. Richardson's running.
Well, that's why they're aggressive play at go field. Nicely done.
Bucks trail by 4. Hill dishes to Lopez. And the dunk by Lopez.
Like to see George Hill distribute to his teammates a heads-up play there.
Here's Richardson. Smith fires from way outside. Oh, got it to go.
The worst I've ever heard was my rookie year. A guy called me Antetokounmpo, and Kounopi in Greek means mosquitoes. So he basically said anti-mosquito.
And the mosquito, definitely not a good comparison for Giannis.
Yeah, more like a condor. But that last name certainly has a lot of people looking for nicknames.
And we welcome you back to NBA action, a great tradition. Christmas Day basketball here on 2K Sports. What stands out to you guys from the 76ers in this one?
Well, the coaches preach ball movement, and we saw exactly why in that first quarter.
Everybody just feeling the energy of the basketball as they moved it around, and lots of hands were touching it.
Kyle Quinn out there with Scott. Then there's Richardson, and it's Smith, and it's Bolden in at the 3 spot. That's the group for Philadelphia to start the second quarter. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Olds.
Kevin, Josh Richardson has made himself into one of the top defensive names in the league. Richardson says there's a certain competitiveness that comes with being a good defender. The defensive end takes will, and I have a lot of it. Kevin J. Rich is self-described as super competitive. That edge is what drives him.
It sure is. That's what it takes. Thank you, David. Now, here's Scott. They lead by 11, the largest margin of the game. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. Bill, you host your own podcast. I've listened to it. I subscribe to it. I love it. What do you make of some of the NBA players now doing the same thing?
Hey, we have a couple of them. At the Ringer, we have JJ Redick, we have Vince Carter and Ken Bazemore. The ones that are good at it take it seriously. It can't be one of those things where, a player says, you know what, I want a podcast, and then it just naturally happens. So you got to work on it. You have to use your connections to book your guests, and you have to be candid on podcasts. You can't just show up and just babble. And the guys that have been successful at it are people that could probably have a media career for a living. Like JJ is clearly going to go to media after he retires. Richard Jefferson had a great podcast. He's gone to the media. He's really good. So I think you need a little more talent at it than people realize. And you need the consistency of it. You can't say, I'm starting a podcast and then not do it for 2 months. Like, you have to really stick to it.
A shot's good from Quinn.
At this point, I don't know what you can do to slow this team down.
Well, nothing that they're doing seems to be making an impact. And there are some nights where you just run out of options, whether it's by personnel or by tactic.
Bill, you study pop culture. The 2K Esports League is a phenomenon right now, which is sweeping the country. Do you think that's going to alter the perception of gaming in any way?
Yeah, I would say it has one of the best chances of any esports league to succeed because people just love basketball. And you can feel it during the offseason. The shift in basketball content and the fact that it's now 12-month-a-year sport for us. And now it goes from the playoffs to the draft to where people go in free agency. And then that plays out for a month, and then something else will happen. All of a sudden it's August. Summer league's happening, and then all of a sudden the season's close, and then you just kind of recycle it. It's a 12-month-a-year sport.
Oh, 4 on the clock. Bolden passes to Smith. It's hauled in by Ilyasova.
And you have to admire his confidence on that, but there's no way that's going to fall.
Coaches will tell you that's a bad shot, but when your teammates tell you that, you probably got to think about it.
Bill, I wanted to go back to what you were talking about with the 2K League, and you mentioned how basketball has grown into essentially a 12-month-a-year sport.
For me, a 2K Esports League just makes sense. It fits into that. I think people love the players. I think they care about these athletes, in basketball, so much more than the other sports. And for me, it's really gratifying because I've loved basketball my whole life. And for a while there, when I grew up as a kid, they would take away in the finals. And, it was like the second-tier league. And now to see how popular it is and how much people love it, it's just, I feel like I was in early. I'm sure he's
Wow.
I think Giannis loves that kind of stuff right there. His dunks sometimes get vicious.
You've been producing documentaries, going deeper into athlete stories, which I know you love, because I think you're curious more than anything else.
Yeah.
So what drew you to that process?
Initially, it was we dove into these stories with that was the inefficiency of instead of these big broad documentaries, concentrate on events and players and moments and things like that. And I think as you get into that and you start doing it, it just becomes intoxicating. And the cool thing about it is no story should be told the same way you would tell somebody else's story. Just don't know, we got to figure it out. Because we had Steve Nash his last Lakers season, he wanted to do a documentary about it. And then we spitballed it, and we decided it's actually a better idea to do an in-the-moment digital series about it that you could experience in real time. And it was the right idea, and that was really good. I think trying to figure out what story fits the best with an athlete, how to tell whatever story they have correctly is the cool part.
.144 left now here in the second. And again, Milwaukee with the triple.
Well, the game's 4 quarters, and after a tough first half, he's found his rhythm in the second.
And the 76ers call time here. We're reaching the end of the calendar year. Here's a great chance to delve into the updated power rankings. You take a look at the Bucks. They're gaining on some of the teams above them, trying hard to crack into that top 5.
And right now for the 76ers, they're putting to rest any big concerns people may have had with this team, proving they are truly an upper echelon club.
Here's Simmons. No good that time. Excellent D there for Bledsoe. And entertaining as always, Bill. Thank you so much for stopping by. We always appreciate your time.
Thank you. Just, I don't want to do any self-against. I'm not do that. I don't want to see that. Let's do the other team.
You know, Brent, it's a different kind of broadcast with Bill Simmons mic'd up. He lets it rip.
Well, the thing about Bill is he's not going to hold back. He has some great, strong opinions, and he backs it up with a lot of facts due to the fact that he knows the history of the game quite well.
No good on that one. And it's Philadelphia the other way. Simmons with it. Now guarded by Bledsoe. Simmons passes to Harris. Matthews with the steal. Smith against Bledsoe. Pass to Matthews. Back to Bledsoe. Fires from the wing. And Horford pulls it down.
Lax defense there. He's going to see fewer and fewer chances if he can't bury those kind of jumpers.
Yep, it counts. And Simmons got his second basket.
And when Simmons is inside, forget about it. He uses his skill and smarts to take advantage.
And here is Antetokounmpo, a 29-point game for him in the win against Indiana.
Is passing another high point in that game. He made sure it wasn't all about him. He wanted to get his teammates involved.
And so we wrap up the first half.
Yeah, no, our defense isn't where it needs to be. I think they're getting open looks. We're overshifting, and then we're not committing to shooters. It's not a very good defensive effort so far.
Don't go away after the break. We'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3. The 2K Sports Halftime Show. And what a show being put on here for the home fans tonight. I'm Ernie Johnson, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. For the 76ers, the first quarter was pretty even. At the end of one, they were able to end up with a 5-point lead. The second quarter got a lot more exciting for them as they were putting up big numbers and find themselves way out in front here at the half. And from what we saw so far from the Sixers, Kenny, what's your takeaway?
In terms of their offensive performance, that was a very well played half of basketball. Good ball movement off the ball, hard screens being set, and they found the guy for the open look. That's how they were able to shoot such a tremendous percentage on the field. With that fluid, efficient offense, they'll be tough to catch in the second half.
And now, Shaq, let's get your opinion on Milwaukee.
Well, they're obviously facing a hot shooting team tonight. That combined with a lackluster effort on defense, recipe for disaster. Without major improvement defensively, this game is over.
And that wraps up the halftime show. Third quarter is set to begin in just a few. You're choosing a center for the team that you ran. You've got these options: Joel Embiid, Big Cat, Jokic, and Denver. There you go.
There's so much variety in their games, Kevin. And I appreciate what Jokic does so much for that Denver Nuggets offense, initiating as a center from the top. But I'm going to have to go with Embiid and the way that he can dominate the game. There's still so much potential and growth for what it is that he can do. Down on the block, doing damage, taking away a lot of three-point shots. They're not to disparage what it is that Karl Anthony Towns can do, but his size and dominance, I think there's an intimidation factor that Joel Embiid brings to the game that I would lean on over the other two.
And on the floor for Mike Budenholzer, starting the second half. Middleton and Giannis are the forward tandem. The backcourt comprised of Bledsoe and Matthews, and it's Powell in at the center position. The free throw drops for Bledsoe. And since coming to the Bucks, Eric Bledsoe hasn't been asked to do nearly as much as he has in the past.
And for Bledsoe, that is a good thing, as he is best as a complementary player. Not scoring as much, but his decision-making and shot selection have vastly improved.
And Greg, Al Horford over the summer opting out of a contract with Boston, the final year with the Celtics. A bit of a surprise to fans.
You know, Horford said he wanted to test free agency. Talks between him and Boston abruptly ended, was wooed by several teams, but ultimately signed on with the Sixers.
And good on the second, so he makes them both.
And we come back to it again and again. If you're just looking at points and rebounds, you really miss Al Horford's impact. It goes way deeper than the box score.
Drills it from outside. Middleton's got 8 points.
See how skilled Middleton is, ready to pull the trigger, and the defense is going to have to do better.
Simmons finds Embiid, and the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him. And some detractors have looked at Horford's stats, and they said he's not an all-star. Even Sports Talk Radio calling him average out.
Nonsense. I mean, still a great defender, efficient scorer, elite passer as well for a big man. Then you get to his leadership. Big Al is the total package.
And after he missed the first 2 seasons of his career, Greg, with a broken bone in his foot, would injuries be your main concern for Joel Embiid?
Look, no doubt about it. As long as he's healthy, he's an all-league performer. Still, 7-footers carry a lot of weight in our league. He wants to prove he can play big minutes, but he's just got to make sure they protect him.
Here's Simmons. Giannis grabs the miss. Antetokounmpo's got 4 rebounds in this game. A shot by Middleton, wide open. Great look, but off the mark.
I know it's about defending the post and the three-point line these days, but still got to be active in the mid-range area, and the defense gets away with one there.
From 17 feet out, they grab their own miss. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
The improvement we saw during Giannis Antetokounmpo's first few years in the league went from raw to ridiculous in a hurry.
Milwaukee shooting their 4th and 5th shots at the foul line in the game. The first free throw is good.
You know, the improvement we've seen over the last few seasons with Giannis is incredible. I mean, he just keeps adding to an already superstar level game.
Catching up on the changes for Philadelphia. Scott comes in for Al Horford. And Jordan Bolden subbed in for Harris. Big group substitution here for Milwaukee. Lopez, who's checked in for Powell. Ilyasova comes in for Khris. Kyle Korver, who's checked in for Wesley Matthews. And George Hills subbed in for Eric Bledsoe. And you know, Greg, this last season, Giannis improving on his rebounding and his passing.
Career highs for him in both of those areas. If he ever adds a deep shot, I'm not sure how you guard him at that point.
Ball's not loose. Score the basket. It's number 6 for him this game. 6 for 9, 67% shooting.
Giannis has the hard hat on right now, going to work. So good, so long, just terrorizing the D.
And Simmons gets to Embiid. Outside for Simmons. Shot clock at 5. The 76ers need to get off a shot. Richardson, good.
Richardson's pretty consistent in draining that 3 ball. The D can't allow him to get too comfortable while he's camped out behind the arc.
Giannis passes the court. off the back iron and out. The 76ers leading by 15. And it's Simmons penetrating. Off target from the baseline.
He told me this was the kind of game he was going to have. I would not have expected them to be in front right now. Yeah, that miss might stick with him for a little while. That's kind of a shoot-around jumper if I've ever seen one.
Just over 3.5 minutes through the third quarter of play now. It's Richardson out the way. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. Simmons got his 8th assist in the game.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Here's Antetokounmpo. Slides through for his 7th basket in 11 tries.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
Timeout called the 76ers.
And when he gets ahead of steam, you almost feel sorry for defenders. Ben Simmons, a combination of size, speed, and ball handling that can at times be unstoppable.
Here's what Philadelphia's going with right now. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Embiid. Korkmaz comes in for Jonah Bolden. He's checked in for Josh Richardson. And Raul Neto subbed in for Simmons.
Could come down to selection. Bad shots in the first half. Here in the second, using his head, finding some more efficient opportunities to score.
And with his passion and driving ability, Greg, Simmons is like combining a power running back in football with a pinpoint passing quarterback. Not much he can't do.
A football metaphor is appropriate. Simmons grew up playing Australian rules football, and the physicality and quick thinking of that sport really reflected in his style of play.
And Brent, when you watch Eric Bledsoe go to the rim, you just have to admire what an incredible finisher he is.
Well, Bledsoe, I think, has always relied on the fact that his physical stature, not in terms of his height at 6'1", but his width and strength allows him to go in there and be a bit of a bulldog, to get contact and make things happen. So never has shied away from that.
Shoots from 8. Milwaukee, no good that time either.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Scott finds Smith. Back to Scott. There's the pass to Neto. Philadelphia moving the ball around. Here's Ilyasova, and Ilyasova throws it down.
Yeah, Ilyasova will sneak up on you sometimes and throw him down like that.
And so it's Neto with the ball. He'll bring it up for the 76ers. 17 points was their biggest margin. Pass to O'Quinn. For 3, Smith. It's good. Now he's shooting 6 for 7.
Yeah, that's too good a look to get there from behind the arc.
Now here's Bledsoe. T right on. Second shot opportunity. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Bledsoe going to the inside has no problem at his size getting in and drawing contact.
2 trips to the line so far for him in this one. The free throw drops for Eric Bledsoe.
It felt like he was a little hesitant in the first half, but really he's amping himself up here and battering around to get himself to the free throw line.
Bledsoe hits him low.
Yeah, I like that they haven't lost their aggressiveness here in the second, despite being down.
Here's Neto, 35, Bledsoe. Smith wide open, he fires. Another 3 for Philadelphia.
It's been this way since halftime. Tremendous production from beyond the arc.
They're pretty infectious right here. Guys in good spirits and percentages from downtown on the rise in the second half.
And how about a look now at our assist of the game? Brought to you by State Farm.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
Well, coaches talk about it all the time, but to be able to play with that kind of feel, nice play, collaborating, improvising, and organic.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. Bucks trail by 17. The tall lineup out there for the 76ers. Simmons, Richardson, Harris, Horford, and Embiid. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia. You often hear about players talk about their favorite spot to fire from on the floor. How much of an effect does that really have on favorite shooting?
Most of the time, Kevin, what we're talking about is star guys, because they're the ones who ultimately, in any given possession, the coach is trying to find that guy in that spot to do something. What happens throughout the course of the year is when that player has the ball there, everybody else knows what to do. Like the player knows what he's going to do, right, Kevin? He's the star player. But everybody around gets comfortable with the options and where it is that he goes. If he goes right, if I slide right, I'm going to get the three. If he goes left, he's spinning back. I might move towards the top of the key. So the familiarity of not just the player, but the players around the player, that's where you can make it happen.
That's interesting.
And this summer, a 5-year, $170 million max contract extension for Ben Simmons. The Sixers didn't want to give him any cause to look elsewhere. A great talent, but the hope with that kind of money is that he'll develop that jump shot.
And Matthews gets it to go.
And he can time his passes so perfectly. Wow, what an assist.
Simmons inside. Guarded by Bledsoe. Back to Simmons. Takes it to Embiid. In the corner, it's Harris. From outside the arc. Drains the three-pointer. And the 76ers lead by 18.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 mates are from beyond the arc.
In the dunk by Powell.
Unselfish play there by Bledsoe. Does a great job scanning, noticing somebody's open, get them the ball.
Simmons against Bledsoe. Simmons feeling it out a bit. To the wing on the left. Embiid wide open. The basket good off the assist for Simmons.
Three-pointers are killing them at this point, and they haven't been able to respond at the other end.
Matthews into the lane. He dishes at the foul. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
And the 76ers call time here. And coming into this season, questions about whether the Sixers could retain their star players. Well, Greg, they shuffled the decks, but they still have great talent.
Swapping in Al Horford for Jimmy Butler, Josh Richardson for J.J. Redick. The Sixers still in the mix to come out of the East.
Antetokounmpo's checked in for Milwaukee. Simmons inside. Guarded by Bledsoe, and the shot is good.
Sweet to be a difference maker in the game, and he's been a great option for them on these possessions.
Around 3 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. A double-team Bledsoe. A shot by Antetokounmpo. Nobody around, and it's off from three-point range.
Well, if he wants to make the defense work, he's got to start knocking down the threes. Only one so far in this game for him, and none since halftime.
Back to Embiid. Kicks it out to Richardson. Embiid, no good.
I'm not sure where the lack of focus comes in there, Kevin. That's not like him. The defense is close, but there's enough space to score.
Powell, this is the Mavericks. Nice spin off the left rim and in.
I just don't think they want him taking that kind of shot. Again, his teammates are just laughing, shaking their heads there on the bench.
But tried by Simmons. Horford the pass to Simmons. Back to Horford. Philadelphia moving the ball around. The shot comes out. Excellent D there from Bledsoe. Here's Giannis. And Giannis throws it down.
Watching that guy put on a burst of speed, he takes up so much of the floor. Good burst by Giannis.
And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Well, what's not to like about Joel Embiid? A physical specimen at over 7 feet tall, all the skill in the world, and a personality made for stardom.
And Embiid drops them both. You talk about Embiid's personality, whether it's on the court or through social media. Greg, he's not shy speaking his mind.
One of the best trash talkers in the league. He doesn't hold back, but it's never personal. He's embracing the spirit of competition.
Bledsoe against Simmons. Embiid is at the elbow. Rebound, Milwaukee. Giannis has got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one.
And this is what they wanted. I mean, to announce their presence in this matchup with authority, very decisive. It can definitely be considered a statement win for Philadelphia.
Milwaukee really turned things into their favor this time.
Great timing, anticipation. They got the blocks, and it definitely changed the momentum of this game.
And so the hard work and effort paying off tonight, putting another win in the books. That'll be win number 27.
And against a conference opponent, always good to take that first win of the season series to establish a psychological edge.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Smith.
It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket seemed as wide as a barrel.
Pass to Powell. Back to Bledsoe. It's good.
Well, efficiency there from Eric Bledsoe. Good at knowing when he should look to score.
Here's Simmons. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo. Bledsoe looking around. Over Richardson. It's blocked.
Hard-nosed defender and Josh Richardson using a little bit of that length from the wing position to deny that one.
And Simmons takes the Horford. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. And the 76ers lead by 19. Now here's Powell. So it's the 76ers winning this one easily.
Just taking good shots on offense, trying to, getting stops on defense. We challenge every shot. Just played hard tonight.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Brett Berry, and David Alden, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. So long, everyone.